All right, everyone, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 4:48 p.m. We'll start with a territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Quaquitlam, and Katzie nations. Unceded means that the territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated on occupied territories. Next, we want to roll call of attendance. I'm going to call on your position, and please give us your name, pronouns, and access needs. We'll start with archaeology. Archaeology put in the chat, Sneha, pronouns they, she, access needs, they'll be on the chat, and we'll have to leave a bit early today due to academic obligations. I expect that to be a common theme today. Next, we have Bachelor of Environment. We have Tiana here. Behavioral Neuroscience. Hi everyone, my name is Arthi, pronoun she, her. All my access needs are met, but I'll have to leave the meeting at 5:30 tonight because I have a final to study for. Thank you, Arthi. Next, we have Biology.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I will also have to leave in a bit just because, yeah, I guess everyone's just studying right now.
Awesome, thank you. BPK sent in regrets. Cognitive Science. Hi, my name is Aaron. He, they, access needs. We'll need to leave at 6 tonight due to academic and finals. Okay, we're gonna have to speed run the new business items then. Communications, I believe, is on a leave of absence, but I'll check anyways. Communications, are you here? Oh, okay. Computing science.
Hey everyone, my name is Sharik. My pronouns are he, him, his, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Crim sent in regrets. Data science. Earth science. Hi all, my name is Eden, he, him, and all my access needs are met. Thank you, Eden. Economics. Economics, are you here? Okay. Next is education. Christine, she, her. I'm just getting off work, so we'll have to change devices later. Sounds good. Oh, econ did send regrets. Thank you, Ashley. Next, we have environmental science and regrets. Film.
Hi, I'm Sophie. She, they, any pronouns, and my access needs are met. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. French, I don't believe is here. GSWS. Okay. Next we have geography. Hello, my name is Natasha. She, they pronouns, and all of my access needs are met. Thank you, Natasha. Gasu sent in regrets. Health science.
Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Priyanka. IAT. I don't think they're here. ISSA. Doesn't look like it. Linguistics. Nope. Mechatronics. No mechatronics. Philosophy.
Hi everybody, my name is Ashley, they, she, they pronouns, and all my access needs are met today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashley. Physics.
Hi, my name is Daniel, any and all pronouns, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Daniel. Political science.
Hey, my name's Bryden, he, him pronouns, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Bryden. Psychology.
Hi, my name's Mark, he, him pronouns, all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Mark. Next, we have SAS. We have SAS here today. Okay. Sass. Hi, my name is Hillary. She, her pronouns. Going to have to type in the chat and leave it 7-ish. Thank you, Hillary. Sasu.
Hello, my name is Arthur, pronoun he, him, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Arthur. Software systems. No software systems. All right. Sass, I don't think is here. C's is going to be late. Theater, are you here? Nope. And then world literatures. World languages and literature. No. Okay. DNA.
Hi, my name is Alexandra. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs are met. I might have to leave a little bit earlier today, but should be able to stay till the end.
Awesome. Thank you, Alexandra. Next, we have RHA. Hi, everyone. My name is Manuel. He, him, his pronouns. All my access needs are met. Might have to leave around 7 p.m.-ish. Thanks. Thank you, Emmanuel. SAC, I don't think is here. So we'll go to the executive committee. So sort of acting president. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby. He, him, pronouns. Access needs are met. Next is a VP internal, or acting VP internal.
Hi, I'm Peter. My pronouns are he, him. My access needs are met, and I might leave early if the execs are mean to me, but I'll probably stick around.
Thank you. Next, we have acting VP finance and services.
Hi, my name is Rasco, he, him pronouns. My access needs are met, and I promise not to be mean to Peter.
We'll have to hold Rasco to that. VP UAA. Not here. Just to double check, not here in the chat or anything. Okay. VP external.
Hi, my name is Ishana, she, her pronouns. All my access needs are met.
Thank you, Ishana. VP equity and sustainability.
Hi, my name is Songyan. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have VP events, which is name is Vaibhav Aurora. Pronouns he, him, and access needs are met. Awesome. Thank you, Vaibhav. Next, we have society staff. So we have our board organizer.
Hi everyone, this is Ella, pronoun she, her, hers. All of my access needs are met for tonight, but this is my first council meeting in a little bit. So I'm seeing quite a few of you for around the first time. I'm happy to come back to good energy so far. So yeah, please be patient with me if it takes me a couple seconds just to catch up. But it's so exciting to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Ella, and welcome back. I believe our facilities manager is not here. I don't think so. So we'll move on to our temporary operations organizer.
Hi all, Sindhu here, she, her pronouns, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Sindhu. And then next, I believe, is our admin assistant.
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle. My pronouns are she, her, and all my access needs are met.
Awesome, thank you. I'll also note that Liam has joined in the chat, so engineering, if you want to do an intro. If not, no worries. And then I believe it was Bachelor of Environment joined as well. Either if you want to do a vocal or in the chat intro, you can feel free.
Sure. Hi guys, apologies for being late. I had problems with login. My name is Tiana, she, her pronouns, and regarding access needs, I just have a really big project due tomorrow, so I might have to leave early. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right. I guess we can move on then. Moving on to the consent agenda. Consent agenda reads, be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Does anyone dissent to adopting the consent agenda? Ishana?
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna add 2 ECA minutes here. I just need to get them approved since it's the last council meeting. I'll just link them here. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Oh no, I'm trying to be quick. Okay, there.
I'll second.
Okay, Alexandra, thank you. Is there any opposition to considering these in consent agenda? Seeing none, we'll adopt those into the consent agenda, and then I'll just take a second look. Does anyone oppose adopting the consent agenda, I guess, as amended now? Seeing none, that consent agenda is adopted. Thank you. And then we'll go to adoption of the agenda. It reads, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
Sasu second.
Sasu seconds. I suspect we'll have some lists, so let's get it over with. Go ahead, whenever you guys are ready. Oh, I thought we were having amendments this meeting. Are we not? Okay. Oh, Rasco, go ahead.
This is to amend the agenda, right?
Yes.
Okay, give me one moment. I do have an amendment to make. The motion, it's one motion titled SFSS donation to contract worker justice at SFU. I'm going to paste in, just give me a moment to paste this into Zoom. Zoom does have a character limit.
Yeah, just a heads up when you're trying to paste it. If it's too long, sometimes it won't paste in one. We'll just give Rasco a second for that.
So I'm having trouble pasting it into the chat, but I've sent it again to the council mailing list. Can you try, Abby?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Because it's not even letting me paste any character. It's the latest one that I just sent right now.
Oh, yeah, I can't paste it for whatever reason either. That's weird. Looks like someone else has got it.
Okay, Peter has pasted it.
Thank you, Peter.
Send an email.
Okay, so Rasco moves that amendment. Can we get a seconder?
BP external.
BP external seconds. Is there any discussion on considering this motion? Seeing none, we'll take this to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent to adding this onto the agenda, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. I listed next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move to reports to the back of the agenda just because we don't need quorum for that. So I'm going to move reports just ahead of or just behind new business. Can I get a seconder for that, please?
BP external.
I think VPX got that one. And then is there any discussion on that? My simple explanation is just we might struggle with quorum. So I think the new order would be, just for clarification, it would be presentation, new business. There's no discussion items, so it would just be reports after that and then adjournment. Point of information, Sheree?
Can you do that in the adoption of the agenda? Generally, you have to suspend the rules to change the order because it's in policy.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure considering it's during the adoption of the agenda, I think we're okay. I think after the adoption agenda, we do have to suspend the rules, but I believe during the adoption itself, we can move things around. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they want to discuss about this? If not, we'll take it to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay, the new motion will now read, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as amended. Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you, Ashley. I'm going to move to add a motion titled ratification of regrets. And I think the font is going to be way off here, but might be okay. So I'm sorry, there's no space there. Title is ratification of regrets, and the motion reads, be it resolved to accept the regrets of Ava Woods, criminology counselor, environmental counselor, Raisin Bark, GSWS Counselor Simon Basra, Economics Counselor Rafid Chowdhury, Global Asia Studies Counselor Emilio da Silva, and BPK Student Association Counselor Curleen Graywall. It should also say for the December 7th meeting of council. Okay, I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
Philosophy.
I will
seconds.
second.
Philosophy seconds. Any discussion on this? We're just accepting ratification of regrets. Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay. Once again, new motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as amended. Any other amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, I will take this to a vote. We're going to seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes. Awesome. Okay, we're going to move on to presentations. We have the BC Climate Emergency Campaign presentation submitted by Sung Yun. I have enabled screen sharing, so whenever whoever wants to present is ready, you can go ahead. Is whoever's going to be presenting for this here? Perfect, okay.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, you go first.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Songyeon, and
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm the Associate Vice President of Equity, and this is Songyeon, the VP Equity.
yeah, this presentation is for our council members to have better understanding of our motion proposal about the BC climate change campaign.
Sorry, I can't hear anything.
Oh my God, I muted. Oh my God, this is so funny. Hi, everybody. You probably didn't hear anything I said, but hi, my name is Ashley. I'm the VP Equity and Sustainability, and we came here to talk to you today about the BC Climate Emergency Campaign. They're an organization who is anxious about climate change, and they would like to increase ambition for climate policy and action in BC. While they're not a formal coalition, they've chosen to work together on this group campaign. Next slide. Excellent. Cool. So yeah, they sent an email to Sungyeon and myself. Yeah, so they sent a letter to the BC government with the support of 200 organizations' signatures. Particularly because, as we all know, climate change is affecting all of our daily lives, whether it's with heat waves and wildfires and droughts, particularly in BC. And the current climate plan is not enough to limit the warning of 1.5 degrees Celsius. Action needs to be taken, and this campaign would like to implement 10 actions that the BC government can take. Yeah. So the current BC Climate Emergency Campaign is, as you can see here on this slide. The idea is that it is insufficient to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and that will not keep British Columbians safe from the worst impacts of climate change. Therefore, this campaign is advocating that the BC government develop and implement a transformative climate emergency plan that recognizes the interconnected climate, ecological, and social crisis, embeds equity, anti-racism, and social justice at its core. So you will see these in their 10 actions accompanied with their petition. So you'll see that they have 10 actions here to implement a rapid systemic change to the BC provincial government to demonstrate that leadership is necessary to confront this climate emergency, and that immediate action must be undertaken. The 10 actions are as follows.
Okay, so the first action is to set binding greenhouse gas emission targets every year based on the climate science and justice. And the second one is increase investment to zero emission economy and create new economic institutions to take in charge of it. And the third one is stop the new fossil fuel infrastructure and accelerate the commission of fossil fuel production and exports. And number 4, eliminate subsidies and financial incentives for fossil fuels and let polluter industry pay by themselves. Okay, for the number 5, be prepared and assist marginalized groups who are most at the risk from the effects of climate change. And number 6, protect territorial and marine ecosystem and support and invest in indigenous-led conservation initiatives.
So the number 7 is to invest in local organic regenerative architecture and food systems, including carbon storage in soil and restoring biodiversity, that kind of stuff. Number 8 is to accelerate the transition to zero emission transportation, investing in public transit, and reallocating infrastructure funds to ensure that we are transitioning to zero emission as quickly as possible. Number 9 is to accelerate the transition to zero emission buildings, a very similar idea. They also include in here to create a crown corporation to mobilize this workforce to reallocate existing buildings to limit fossil fuel heating by 2035. And the number 10 is to track and report progress on these previous actions, establishing a rolling 5-year carbon budget that declines over time towards zero emissions by 2040 or sooner.
With all these 10 actions, we saw their campaign actions are powerful to put the BC government under pressure to address the climate emergency and contribute to expand links between diverse networks. So the action we can take is add our names in the BC Climate Emergency Campaign website. And our motions is signing on to the BC Climate Emergency Campaign, whereas the climate crisis directly impacts our communities and our health. Whereas the BC Climate Emergency Campaign group has reached out to us to support their petition, whereas their calls to action are in line with our issue policies, which is IP6, climate justice and sustainability. The SFSS supports protests and boycotts against corporations and companies that support the fossil fuel industry, such as banks and installers of fossil fuel projects. The SFSS supports investing in students-led activism, advocacy, and research around climate change. We resolved to task the President Abhishek Parmar to sign the BC Climate Emergency Campaign petition on behalf of the Simon Fraser Student Society. This is our references. And thank you so much for listening.
Awesome, thank you, Sungyeon and Ashley. Did anyone have any questions for them? You can list in the chat. Ishana, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say great job to both Ashley and Sungyeon for like an awesome presentation. I think once we get to the motion, we can talk about this more, but I feel like it would be like really great to sign on to. Thanks for all the information. And also taking the time to make sure that we like know about like the different asks and things like that. But yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ishana. Anything else? Or sorry, anyone else? Oh, all right, cool. Let's get on to new business then, as we have a lot to cover and a lot of people need to leave early. So first act of new business would be Space Oversight Committee elections. This was submitted by myself and it reads as follows. Whereas there are vacancies on SPOC for 2 council members, Be it resolved to elect councillors A and B to serve on SPOC for the remainder of the 2022-2023 council year. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
Philosophy.
I'll second.
Philosophy seconds. I would, holy cow. I'm going to do nominations. Ashley, you have a list first, though, or is it for nominations?
It is for nominations, yes.
Nominations, okay. Any lists about the motion itself? No? Okay. First call for nominations. Ashley, go ahead.
I'd like to nominate the acting VP internal, Peter.
Ashley nominates the acting VP internal, Peter. Peter, do you accept this nomination?
Yeah, accept the nomination.
Cool. Peter accepts that nomination. We have a list from the acting VP Finance. Go ahead.
I would like to nominate Mark Giles.
Mark Giles. Mark, the psychology counselor. Would you like to accept this nomination? Mark, you're on mute. You're muted still.
Oh, sorry. Could you repeat that?
You've been nominated to join SPOC. Are you interested?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Mark. So right now we still just have Peter. I'm going to do second call for nominations. Third and final call for nominations. Ishana, go ahead.
How often are the meetings and what time?
Usually bi-weekly. I'm sure we'll be rescheduling because the committee has had a total change in composition. Go ahead.
Can I nominate myself? But also I don't know like how many execs are on the committee. I don't want it to be like full of execs if someone else wants to go. But I'll nominate if you have this. I'll nominate myself if there's space.
Yeah, there's space for one more slot. Then what would be all executives at the moment, but
Never mind then.
never mind. Okay.
Yeah, no all execs.
Okay. If there's anyone who doesn't have a committee at the moment, I highly recommend SPOC. Exciting projects and we get to do a lot. This is a good time to nominate yourself. I'll keep a really long third call, you know. I'll make sure your work is to a minimum if that's something you're interested in. And you can still get the full SPOC hours. We give it like 5 more seconds and then we do have to move on. Anyone want to join SPOC at all? You can hang out with me. I'll buy someone lunch if they join SPOC.
How many seats are available? Sorry, I don't know if I should have listed.
All good. We have 2 seats available right now. We have Peter who's running for one of them, and the other one has no competition at the moment.
I'll put my name in then.
Okay, Mark, I owe you lunch and you're on this list now. Cool. All right. I'm going to take the third and final call for nominations. It's over. Cool. We have Mark and Peter. So I'm going to move to replace counselors A and B with Peter Hans and Mark Giles. Just put that in the chat. It lets me copy. This was the original motion. Sorry, I should have posted this for accessibility in the first place. So my apologies for that. But it will now read. If you, Hillary, you can split whatever Mark gets if you want. I'll have to set some sort of money limit here. So that will be the new motion. Oh, sorry, I forgot counselors. Typos costing us valuable time. I'm sorry.
Take your time, Abby. Don't worry about it.
There we go. All right, I'll move that amendment. Can we get a seconder?
Finance.
Acting VP Finance and Services, seconds. Any discussion on this amendment? No one else ran. All right, seeing none, we'll take this to vote. We're going to seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent to the amendment, use the raise hand function. I'll call on you for your vote. No, okay, that amendment is accepted. So now we have the amended motion. And I'm just going to, given that there's no discussion on this, I'm going to seek unanimous consent for this as well. Seeking unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, Please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes. All right, congratulations, Mark and Peter. You're now on stock. I look forward to working with you. Okay. Next item is PSA furnishings proposal. This was submitted by our physics counselor, and it reads as follows. Whereas the space expansion fund has roughly $500,000 in unspent funds and collects around $350,000 in student levies, whereas the fund has been used to furnish student group spaces in the last year, whereas this fund is meant to be used to furnish student spaces around the campus, whereas the PSA common room has not seen significant renovations, be it resolved that council approves the spending of up to 12,700 Canadian dollars for basic furnishing expenses for the Physics Student Association from the Space Expansion Fund. Can I get a mover for that, please?
VP External.
The external moves. Can I get a seconder?
VP Finance.
VP Finance seconds. So, Daniel, if you are here, I will give you speaking priority on this if you'd like. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the PSA, it's been such a long time since we've had new furniture. Like all of it's old, all of it's falling apart. We really would like if we could get this passed. We planned out the whole thing over the past couple months, and it would just be amazing if we could like help out all of the physics students who use the common room.
Thank you, Daniel. I'll say I'm glad to see a briefing note, and I'm glad to see this was submitted to the agenda on time and not amended on with such a significant cost to it. I'm glad that council was given time to look at this properly. So I'll be voting in favor of this motion. Rasco, go ahead.
In my capacity as acting VP Finance and Services, I fully approve the spending, especially since, as Abby said, council had time to review it. It is coming from the Space Expansion Fund. That's exactly the fund meant for these types of purchases. I'm glad to see my money being directly, given to student spaces here on campus. So I'll be voting in favor, and I strongly recommend everyone else here does. Thank you.
Thank you, Rasco. Any other comments? Ella, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to identify that we haven't really, put a lot of money into more of the science-based faculties and courses that we do represent as a student society. So I really want to encourage all of you to think about, the students that are there too, and the fact that they need our support. And I encourage you to vote in favor.
Thank you, Ella. Any other discussion? It sounds like everyone's kind of on the same page. So if there's nothing else, I'm going to seek unanimous consent on this. Okay, I'm going to seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes unanimously. Congratulations, physics. I hope the new furniture and all serves you well. All right, so we're going to move on to 11.3, which reads SFSS Club's Terms of Reference. And this is submitted by our VP Events, and it reads as follows. Whereas the Member Services Advisory Committee has proofread the document titled Club's Terms of Reference updated by the Member Services Coordinators, be it resolved to adopt the document Club's TOR as the new Club's TOR for the SFSS. Can I get a mover?
Acting VP Finance.
Acting VP Finance moves. Can I get a seconder?
Acting VP Internal.
Acting VP Internal seconds. Any discussion on this? I believe the attachments were sent along, so hope everyone had a chance to look at that. I'm not seeing anything, so I think I'll just take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent to adopting this new Club's TOR, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay, we have a couple more of these. So the next motion reads SFSS Club. Oh, sorry, I didn't put that in the chat. Pardon me. There. So that was the previous motion titled this. And the next motion is titled SFSS Clubs and Student Union Funding Guidelines, which is here. And the motion reads as follows. Whereas the Member Services Advisory Committee has proofread the document titled SFSS Club and Student Union Funding Guidelines, updated by the Member Services Coordinators. Be it resolved to adopt a document titled SFSS Student Funding Guidelines as the SFSS Club and Students Funding Guidelines for the SFSS. Can I get a mover?
Acting VP Finance.
So you guys unmute at the same time. I'm gonna go acting VP Finance on that one. And can I get a seconder?
VP External.
VP External seconds. All right, any discussion on this? Sharik, go ahead.
I just had a few questions about a few things in the document. So first of all, there's a section about grants that exceed $3,000 and then being needed to be requested 2 months in advance. Is there any reasoning as to why? Because typically a lot of sort of the bigger events that happen in the summer typically have their grant proposals put in, and normally it's 2 weeks to get it onto the council agenda, but this is 2 months. So I'm just kind of wondering why.
Good question, Sharik. Is there anyone who can, Vaibhav, do you have an answer to that by any chance, or do we have any staff here who have an answer to that? Ella, you can go ahead.
I was just going to jump in and just say, Sharik, I can get a confirmation of a response from John for you now, but I'm just assuming it has to do with staffing. But I will get a confirmation and I will send it to you over email.
Okay, thank you, Ella. Any other discussion on this?
Do you mind if I ask 1 or 2 more questions, Abby? With my
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't realize you weren't done. My bad, go ahead.
No, it's okay. There's also a section in here about printing and sort of using doc solutions to do any of the printing, which is kind of upsized like in terms of pricing and whatnot, and over $50. Is there a reason we have to go with doc solutions? Like I know when we get tech stuff, right, like computers, we have to do it through SFU IT services. Is there a particular reason we have to use doc solutions? Because in the past, we've been able to get printing from essentially anywhere.
Good question, Sharik. Anyone have an answer to that? Rasco, you want to go ahead?
So I believe I do have the answer. I'm just assuming onto it, but we might have to go in camera to discuss that. It is related to HR and personnel matters.
Okay. I guess let me ask if council is interested in the answer then, if we want to move in camera for that. Are we interested in hearing that? The other thing we could just do is honestly, given that there's a lot of hesitancy here, it feels like we could just postpone this until the next meeting. Have it under old business. Is that something council's amenable to? Okay, I'm going to move to postpone. Sorry. Let me follow my own Robert's rules here. I'm listed. I'm going to move to postpone this item to the next council meeting of the next year, or this fiscal year, but next year. So that will probably be January 4th, but it could also be the 11th. So I'm just going to say the next council meeting. I'm going to move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
VP External.
VP External seconds. Any discussion on postponing this? Vaibhav, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, I'm gonna text Melanie if she's in here, if she can reply to these questions in the meantime. Is it possible for us to, like, if she's on, she's able to answer the questions, is it possible to just do it today only? Like, if we can bring it back later on?
Yeah, so what I could do is I could retract my motion if Melanie is able to make it in the next couple minutes. Or we can suspend the rules and move this later in the agenda as well. That's another possibility.
We can do that, I guess.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to retract my motion to postpone. Rasco, you listed?
Yes. Now that what Vaibhav has said, I guess if that staff member could come, but I do want to caution that any conversation regarding, especially with the printing, it most likely will have to take in camera that discussion. Thank you.
Thanks, Rasco. Sharik, go ahead.
Two things. Number one, yeah, just a few more questions that I have on top of the other funding guidelines, and I think we should be sort of diligent before we approve any of these, just to, because they are going to affect every single group on campus, right? So, and also with the second thing, Abby, you can't suspend the rules while a question is pending.
So I retracted my
No,
postpone.
I mean like when the normal motion is.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that motion is pending. Okay, I see in the chat. Cindy's going to speak to your first question, Sharik.
Yeah, so just regarding the 2 month is just in terms of like our planning. So usually for processing and booking large spaces and things like that, it usually takes longer. So we wanted to give the room to have the back and forth if needed with coordinators.
Thank you, Sindhu. Sharik, does that answer your question? That first question, at least.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're kind of in an interesting spot here because I don't think we want to vote on this yet. I think, and someone can correct me on this if I'm wrong. I believe we can move to postpone this to later in the meeting, yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to move to postpone this to the back of new business. So we'll consider the
You have to suspend the rules.
So I believe Sharik just told us we can't do that right now because we're considering a pending question. So we're still on the pending question of the student union clubs and club and student union funding. So I'm going to move to postpone it until after 11.6 on the agenda. Can I get a seconder for that, please?
I will second.
Acting VP Finance seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay. So next item we're considering is, I think I had it title copy pasted already. I did. SFSS clubs approval terms of reference. And it reads as follows. Whereas Member Services Advisory Committee has proofread the document titled SFSS Clubs Approval Terms of Reference prepared by the Member Services Coordinators, be it resolved to adopt the document titled SFSS Clubs Approval Terms of Reference as the new SFSS Clubs Approval Terms of Reference for the SFSS. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
AP external.
The external seconds. Ishani Abalist.
Yeah, so just pointing out to council, in it says that FIC students can't like clubs or can't be executives. I think that's something that that myself and other CG coordinators are kind of working on to see if FIC students can start be able to like start clubs or be executives of clubs. So just so folks know, that is in the works. We want to make sure that FIC students are able to be a part of things such as this. So just putting that out there.
Thank you, Ishana. Anyone else have anything they want to say on this motion? Seeing none, we're going to take this to vote and I'll seek unanimous consent. Seeking unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. All right. And then we have the next motion, which is 11.6. Reads as follows. The title, reads signing on to the BC Climate Emergency Campaign. And it reads as follows. Whereas the climate crisis directly impacts our communities and our health, whereas the BC Climate Emergency Campaign Group has reached out to us to support their petition, whereas their calls to action are in line with our issues policies, IP6, climate justice and sustainability, where it specifically states the SFSS supports protests and boycotts against corporations and companies that support fossil fuel industry, such as banks and insurers of fossil fuel projects, investing in student-led activism, advocacy, and research around climate justice. Be it resolved to ask the President, Abhishek Parmar, to sign the BC Climate Emergency Campaign petition on behalf of the Simon Fraser Student Society. Can I get a mover, please?
I will move.
Acting VP Finance moves. Can I get a seconder, please?
VP External.
VP External seconds. Any discussion on this? I am not seeing any, so I'm going to take it to a vote, and I'm going to seek unanimous consent. Seeking unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes unanimously. Awesome, thank you, everyone. So next, we have the item that was amended onto the agenda. And I'll have to see if I can copy this, because I was not able to copy it previously. Actually, no, I might have it here. Okay, cool, I do have it here. So it's titled SFSS Donation to Contract Justice Workers at SFU. Point of order, Sharif, go ahead.
You moved the earlier motion to be after 11.6, which is
Oh,
this
my bad.
motion.
My
You have
apologies,
to-
I thought I moved to the back of new business. That's my mistake. Okay, so we'll get to this after. So I guess we're back. I'll ask Vaibhav or Ella or whoever, have we been able to get a hold of Melanie? Or anyone else who can answer questions? I think Shariq had 3 or 4 there. Shariq, go ahead.
Okay. I like the idea of updating the funding guidelines, but I don't know if there was any consultation done with any sort of like actual like student unions on this. Because like there are things within the guidelines and the processes sometimes that are like very confusing to students. And I think we have an opportunity with this to sort of go to the student unions, figure out where some of the quirks are in the system and what we can actually do to make this whole process better, and then bring it back. Because like there's also a disclaimer in the form that says the member services coordinators can just change this without sort of any notice or anything like that. So I think if we at least go back, do some consultations with the groups that are actually doing these events, doing the reimbursements, doing the budgeting, and then submitting the grants, we could make this process sort of a lot better. So for that, I'm just going to move to postpone this indefinitely.
Sharif, would you mind postponing to the next meeting, or would you really like to postpone indefinitely? Just so this comes back, and then if stuff still hasn't been done, then we can postpone indefinitely, but just in case that's enough time to do the consultation and such.
You can bring back a motion that's been postponed indefinitely at any time. The person can bring it back, Abby.
Okay.
You can just resubmit it to the agenda, so it doesn't really matter either way.
Okay. So Sharif moves to postpone indefinitely. Can we get a seconder, please?
I will second.
Acting Finance and Services seconds. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent on postponing this indefinitely. Seeking unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay, so we'll have to put this onto a future agenda after the appropriate consultation has been done. Okay, so next item is, apparently I have the wrong title for it. So if someone else actually has this motion, that would be wonderful, as apparently I don't think I have the right one.
Yes, I have the motion. Just give me one moment.
That's the title. And then we're just going to wait on our acting VP Finance to throw the motion in the chat. Raska, I was able to copy it, but only like the 3 lines at a time, essentially.
I'm still copying it. Just give me one moment.
No worries. Rasko's still copying it, but I'm going to start reading it. So the title is SFSS Donation to Contract Workers Justice at SFU. It reads as follows. Whereas a group called Contract Workers Justice is a grassroots organization on campus calling for the end of outsourcing contract work at SFU. Whereas current contract workers at SFU are being exploited, are not being paid a living wage, and face discrimination and harassment. Whereas the SFSS supports union rights as ratified in our issues policies 5, living wage and union rights, where we have specific language in support of effort with labor unions and student unions advocating for a livable wage and improved working conditions for all students and workers. Whereas the SFSS 2020-2021 Board of Directors passed a motion on March 26th to support and endorse the campaign to end outsourcing of cleaning and food services work at Simon Fraser University, which affirms our stance towards ending outsourcing. Whereas the motion passed by the 2022-2021 Board of Directors urged SFU to end outsourcing so workers have better wages and working conditions. Whereas these workers at SFU are an extremely important part of the SFU community who deserve the right to job security, fair pay, and benefits. Whereas Contract Workers Justice at SFU have asked for our support as many workers will be laid off and is a difficult time for many workers. Be it resolved that Council approves 2,500 Canadian dollars spend to Contract Workers Justice at SFU from the donations line item 860 -20 to help support contracted workers suffering economic burdens and buying grocery gift cards. Can I get a mover, please?
VP External.
VP External moves, and can I get a second?
VP Finance.
I heard someone.
It was me. It was.
You can give it to VP Internal.
No, that was definitely
Okay, I think I'm gonna do that one. Arthur, yeah. Emmanuel said it was Arthur. Is that right?
What?
No? Okay. I'm just gonna go with VP Finance. That was the other voice I heard. So we'll go with VP Finance. Any discussion on this item? Tasha, go ahead.
Hi, I was just wondering, in the last line, it says that it's for buying grocery gift cards. Is that from the request? Sorry, just want to make sure.
Awesome. Good question, Natasha. Ishan, you have a direct response.
Yeah, so the $2,500 will be used to buy the grocery gift cards. You'll see it in the briefing note. Basically, it's just like folks from Contract Justice workers, each buying $25 like grocery gift cards, and then there are 100 workers, and then they're just going to give it at their December gathering.
Thank you for that clarification, Ishana. Brasco, go ahead.
Yes, so I'm just going to speak a bit about this item. So last Friday, we were approached by this group. They approached the exec regarding their donation, and this group, it's a group of the contracted staff contracted employees here at the university who mostly do the cleaning and food service. We rely on them every day. Every time you go to the dining hall, or you look at the cleanliness of the campus, it's because of their efforts. Anyways, they're fighting against outsourcing, because what's currently happening is, rather than SFU bringing them in-house to be directly employed by SFU so that they can get all the union wages, benefits that come with being directly employed, they contract these to private corporations that then do not pay well. These workers don't really treat them that well. And currently they're about to be laid off because of the winter holidays. So what this group is asking for is for grocery store gift cards for all the workers, so that when they get laid off, they they can still have enough money to provide for themselves and their families. Regarding the motion, so Ishana brought this all up with me, and I worked to basically make sure this motion is in compliance with our, I wrote the motion compliance with our policies, the proper line item is being used, the people who are going to get it, that is all, proper. The check requisition will require, evidence of the grocery store purchase, of the gift card, all that, so that, it's all proper. So I'm going to leave it to Shauna to talk a bit more about this campaign. And yeah, it's something, we can show solidarity to workers, being a student union. Thank you.
Thank you for that detail on the finance side, Rasco. It is always much appreciated. And as a former VP Finance, I certainly appreciate that. Ishana, go ahead.
First of all, thank you. I want to give a big shout out to Rasco. He really helped make this motion come to be, help me understand the finances behind it as well. Also, thank you for the really awesome explanation of what contract workers justice is. Just to give a little bit more of a background, I just wanted to say more about if council wants to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me. I can also, right now they're doing a lot of onboarding for volunteers. A lot of the time when there is worker-student solidarity, things get done. I know that Abby and we also went to a town hall for contract justice workers, showing solidarity as well. And it was really powerful to hear their stories. It's literally one person cleaning, one or two people cleaning all of the library, all 7 floors of it. And the working conditions aren't the best. People are discriminated against as well. I think this will just be a cool way to just be hey, showing our solidarity, being thankful for the work that they do, and also making sure that we pressure and tell the university to stop these horrible working conditions and making sure that a living wage is implemented, and that there are benefits, and so on. And also I see more lists, but as I said before, let me know if you want to get involved. I'm just starting to get more involved right now as well. But yeah, send me a DM over the Zoom, send me an email, whatever y'all need. But yeah, I think it would be super cool if we can get more involved in this.
Thank you, Ishana. Next, we have Ashley on the list.
Hi, I just wanted to speak out in favor of this motion. These are the workers, these are the people who, keep our schools clean and work in our cafeterias. And helping them help students. It really is unfair how, these workers are being exploited like it's no one's business, and any support we can give them is just amazing, because, supporting, the contract workers of SFU helps make SFU's campuses just a nicer and cleaner and just a lovely place. So I want to speak in favor of this motion. Yeah, it's really cool. Let's stand in solidarity with the workers of SFU.
Thank you, Ashley. Next, we have the acting VP Finance.
Yes, I just want to speak again. So I'll be voting in favor for this motion, and I want to talk a bit more about just why we should stand with, labor. It's one day we're all going to be graduated, and we're all going to be workers. One of the biggest things is we're putting in the labor regardless of what jobs you're going to get, and labor unions have made a lot of worker protections and workers' rights possible throughout the years. We can thank them for having, the 5-day work day, for the paid vacation, child labor laws, breaks, wrongful termination laws, all these laws. If it weren't for labor unions, it would have never happened. We would still be working 7 days, as a society, 7 days a week, no weekends, no breaks, 15-hour days, right? It's because of labor union and collective organizing and action that we have strong worker protections here and here in the society. So I just want to remind everyone about this, and it goes in line with us being a student union advocating for students. It all intersects. Thank you.
Thank you, Roscoe. That's quite the history on labor unions. I think you covered a good chunk of it, took me back to social studies. So thank you for that. Anyone else have anything they wanted to contribute? Arthur, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna say this really quickly, very quickly. Just that I heard about this organization while on my tenure as a acting VP Equity Sustainability. So I heard quite a few bit about these guys, and think I have met them one time, which I think I did. And so I think it's important for us to support these guys because like Ishana and the other have been saying that those guys are literally the backbone of the university. Without them, the place wouldn't have even happen or anything. So something we should keep aware of is that any worker, no matter what field or any type of worker whatsoever, they deserve to have the type of wages that they need to live. Because like even if we are all living in capitalism, for goodness sake. So in order to not practice capitalism, we should abandon money, which is not exactly what we need to do. So I just encourage everyone to support this because this is very important. And it's an important step for equity. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you, Arthur. Good point. Yeah, it seems like everyone's on the same page. So honestly, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to seek unanimous consent on this. Seeking unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes unanimously. Alrighty. That gets us through new business. Okay. Next we have reports from committees. That's good timing, Bob. So I will just share my screen here in 1 second. Okay. I have to get this in present mode. There we go. Okay. And we're going to share screen and it's going to be screen 1. Oh, no, screen 2. There we go. Can everyone see that?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Oh, can I? There you go. Sorry if my thing looks a little bit bare. There's actually a lot I've been doing. It's just I kind of left this for last minute and just shoved stuff on there. But I'll be keeping execs to 2 minutes. So let me get a timer on here. I know we're in no rush, but like people got finals and stuff, right? So let's try and get out of here in a decent time. Let's get the timer going. Okay, here we go. So as Ishana mentioned, the last item, I attended the contract justice workers town hall. A lot of my time has been spent onboarding new execs. So Rasco in particular had my old portfolio. So I also want to say Rasco's been doing a great job filling it. So great job, Rasco. And then Peter as well. We've had onboarding sessions and I honestly, I think they've gone fairly well. And I'm really happy with how our new execs are adapting to their new roles. So previous, there's maybe a little mix of VP Finance stuff on here as well. As I chaired SPOC and I attended the outreach committee. That was back when I was still VP Finance. And I've just had so many meetings with staff, particularly with Cindy. I'm sure she's tired of seeing my face by now. Just as a heads up to counselors, at the moment, the signing authorities for the society are myself, Nikki, John, Ella, and Sindhu. So our acting VP internal and our acting VP finance are not signing authorities. They still can sign check recs. And Rascos is one of 2 people who can sign on checks above $1,500 or check recs, but checks themselves have to be signed by myself, Nikki, or management. Just as a heads up. Additionally, I've been finding we've only had 1 so far, which the rest had to get moved around due to exams and all that, but our management working session went quite well. gave me a lot of action items, so I enjoyed that. And just a ton of this is admin work, approving minutes, setting agendas, calling meetings. I thought the VP Finance was a lot of admin, but my God, does the president have a lot of admin as well. All right, we'll move on to our acting VP Internal.
Hello, everybody. Acting VP Internal Peter Hans here. So it's been onboarding for the last few weeks with both the staff and executives, and who I'm just happy to know. It's been a lot of fun. There's me walking across the bridge there. We met with SFU regarding the Zoom bombing incident. I attended both the SAS movie night with the VP External, and I went to the FNMISA term dinner. I've been trying my best to meet up with the other counselors and trying with the execs and staff and trying to get familiar with everybody. I've also been working on the food recipe project we were talking about last week's meeting. And it's been really difficult, but I've been training really hard at like Pokemon OU, because like this acting president, he is not good, and I think I can take him. And then I think I can take the throne of Smogon University from him. So it's just something I'm also just working on in the background as well.
Thank you, Peter. Oh, we're missing. There we are. All right, Rasko, whenever you're ready.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know, Javi was correct. This position has like a ton of admin work. So I'm gonna do a rundown. So first, there was onboarding with staff and executives. I specifically want to thank Abby, who had this role before me, for helping me a lot with that. And I want to thank Sindhu, our temporary operations organizer. She's been very helpful. I met with former student leaders. I want to thank Corbett, even though he's not in this meeting, but yeah, he's former SFSS exec, super useful. I want to I was catching up on a lot of emails and tasks left by the former VP Finance. So like there's like 200 unread emails or something. They just accumulate. So I really get to understand how Abby felt in this position. Met with the exec committee and SV admin regarding the Zoom bombing incident. Liaising with the university and finance staff regarding the Student Society Emergency Aid Fund. So that's a fund that the province and the university is matching for emergency aid for bursaries. I needed to do some paperwork regarding that and send it off to them so that we can get that renewed for another year. There was student care psychoeducational claims processing. So a lot of people won't realize this, but for certain things in the health and dental plan, the VP Finance and Services has to actually like fill check recs so the students can get reimbursed for those things. So there's a backlog of a bunch of claims that I have to process, like students have to get paid ASAP. So that's what I've been doing. There's various reimbursement processing for previous events, signing check recs, meeting with SFU Esports Association, regarding gaming lounge, approving club grants to finances, research and scripting for the CWJ motion. I think my time's out. I mean, yeah, there's a lot here. Most importantly, I renamed Shauna to Best VP in the exec group chat. Thank you.
There we go. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself for like 30 seconds there and I could not find the taskbar. Thank you.
That's great. More time for me.
Yes, you got an extra 20 seconds there, so lucky you. Oh, that's a lovely picture of me. Go ahead, Ishana.
Yes, so it's been pretty chill in my office. As I said before, I attended SAS gaming nights. They're literally so good. Shout out to all the SAS execs. Y'all are amazing. I had meetings with Market Students United. Currently, we're kind of just onboarding more people, letting them know what MSU does, things like that. So it's kind of just building the movement right now. I had a meeting with MP Marcy Len with other student leaders from FAS. So that was kind of just, we kind of talked about Minister Len's more, like campaigns and stuff. I'm currently also, something which is really cool, I'm working on a survey for students in residence. So it's going to, main idea of it is going to be talking about housing affordability. I'm working on that with the RHA president. Shout out to Emmanuel. I went and had a consultation with the SFU VP Equity. We're talking about like the framework right now for the VP Equity SFUs. Had the meeting with other executives with SFU about the Zoom bombing. We also had action items, and those conversations will be continuing. I had a check-in with Sunyan. We kind of talked about food insecurity projects. I really enjoyed our check-in. I had a check-in with our board organizer. It was really good to catch up about like what's going on, what kind, and also projects that I'm working on. Talking about my check-in with the board organizer, we talked about food security projects. Something that I also want to talk to council about is federal lobby days. I'm planning that for myself, Abby, the board organizer, campaigns organizer, and possibly 2 members from ECA. And that'll be happening in the 2nd week of February. So we'll be meeting with ministers at the federal level. We did it provincially, now we have to go federally. When we lobby federally, a lot of change can happen. So I'll keep updating council about that. Also, just did some pictures over there. All of these were taken today, by the way. So I don't know, I thought those are pretty fun. And you can see there's Sunyan, Abby, myself, and Peter. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's a good time. Execs are like doing really well, really happy with how things are going. Good vibes all day. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want my picture taken and it was taken, so that's why I look like that. All right, Sunyan, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did onboarding training sessions, and everyone is so welcoming and supportive. And I checked in with VP External, as Ishana said, and attended winter holiday warm-up events, which V was hosted, and finished catching up on previous project and emails. Also, I did food security project with Embark and VP External, and meeting with SFU staff and executive to discuss about Zoom bombing. And we sort of figure out some solutions. And meeting with HEL Jewish Student Association members and plan for 2023 events. And attended executive, ECA, AC, DNA committee meeting. And lastly, I researched for Nature Walk project for Equity and Sustainability Committee with Ashley and Master.
Awesome, thank you, Sunyan. I think we're done with that. Yep. Okay, cool. That moves us on to 7.2 CCBC report. Or
I'm so sorry, Abby. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but weren't we supposed to do the exec report from like 2 council meetings ago?
Oh, okay. I thought
Or no?
I don't know how everyone else did. I kind of just shoved my stuff into one. I don't know if how everyone else did it. It's okay. If you feel like you want to catch people up, oh, Vibe Up, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about you. I'm so sorry. So what we can do is next meeting, if anyone feels like they haven't gotten everything they wanted to say in, we can do that there. I'm going to reshare my screen because I forgot poor Vibe Up. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have Vibe Up go first in the next meeting if he likes to make up for it. But give me 1 second.
No problem. I can just go anyway, like even if you don't want to get the price, so like this. So basically, I hosted the winter warm-up 2 days ago. I forgot to say the price. We had like a back.
Hey, sorry, we're having trouble hearing you.
Okay.
Okay, so we hosted a pet therapy literally this morning, had a winter warm-up 2 days ago, mental therapy workshop as well 2 days ago. Last week we had an event, LinkedIn photo shoot, and we are planning a few events for January, few events for February, and then like one big event for March. Other than that, I'm planning one event with new VP Equity, Sanghyan. I'm planning to go with Ishana on December 17th for external lobbying as well. Other than that, hosted MSAC meeting, events committee meeting, chaired meetings, and then attended exec meeting, And I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, V. And again, if you wish, you can go first next meeting.
No
And
problem.
you can have an
Okay.
extra minute and a half if you like, whatever you like for the next meeting to make up for that. So my apologies.
All good, no problem.
Okay. All right. So, am I echoing? No, I'm okay. Okay. Okay, that's weird. It's echoing for me a little bit. Might just be my end. The last item we have before adjournment, I believe, is we have an announcement as well, but we have CCBC report, and CCBC currently has nothing to report. All right, announcements. Our communications counselor is on LOA from November 30th to December 14th. Hope it's a restful time for you. And then we have our Q&A. Yes. All right, I'm going to set up a timer for 30 minutes. If we get no questions within the first 45 seconds or so, we're just going to head to adjournment. So yeah, if anyone wants to ask a question. Oh, Peter, go ahead.
Will you be going to the SFU event this Friday? And will other execs be going? And should we encourage other counselors to go and meet up and have a fun time together?
I'll directly respond to this one. I believe I'm going. I don't remember if I bought my ticket or not, so I'm gonna have to double check my email. I think I did, but yeah, I'll be going. And I think, yes, we probably should encourage other executives and counselors to go, but I'll leave that to you. Rascal also has a direct response.
Yeah, so it will all be paid for. So we're going to say something, Abby?
Go ahead, finish your direct response. I'll go next.
Well, you know, just say what are you going to say?
You know what? It's fine. I'll retract. It's fine.
I have no further things to say. Well, if anyone's interested in going, hit one of the execs up. So I'll be going there as well. So see ya there.
Okay, I listed. I'm just gonna say I had a little mini heart attack because tickets are $22 each, and I thought if all the counselors went, that's gonna be a lot of money. But then I realized if counselors come, it's only like 5 of them or so it's fine. But I just had a little mini heart attack there for a second. That's why you may have seen a reaction. So that's just the old VP Finance and me reacting. So please ignore that. I hope everyone comes. Heck, I'll reimburse you myself.
Yeah, fill a check rec to Abby. Abby check requisition.
Okay. Was there any other questions for Q&A? I'm seeing none. Okay. Let's move on to adjournment then. Motion reads, be it resolved to adjourn the meeting at 6:07 p.m. Can I get a mover?
I will move.
Acting VP Finance moves. Can I get a seconder?
Acting VP internal.
VP external.
VP internal, ignore external. External.
VP external times 2. VP external times 2. Come on, Abby.
I'm gonna go with VP external. Is there any discussion on this? Rascal, go ahead.
There's a major injustice. I believe the seconder should be Peter.
Well, if you'd like to voice that injustice, I encourage you to vote against adjournment. But to account for this going forward, in the next couple of motions of the first meeting, if Ishana and someone else are close in time in terms of timing for seconding, I will take the other person to compensate for this. All right. I'm going to seek unanimous consent on this. If you wish to dissent to adjourning, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. For the record, I'm voting against. Anyone else?
I will be voting against as well.
Acting VP Finance votes against. Please note that in the minutes. Seeing no other dissents, this passes, and we'll see you all at the next council meeting.